We're good? All right, perfect. Hi, Ian. It's so great to see you. I know it's been quite a few years since we've had contact, and that's probably for the best since you've been in remission for so long. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing well. I've, I mean, you said it like being in remission. It's good. It's been long enough where I don't think about it every day. So, yeah, I'm doing good.
Well, that's wonderful, first off. And second, thank you so much for taking the time to look over the material I've created. So, the young adult program, which wasn't around when you were receiving your treatment at Mayo Clinic, has been developing a tool to make applying for financial assistance easier for the young adults going through their treatment. So, what I've done is created a little PowerPoint, and I'd really like your honest feedback as far as if you think this tool, which we've called tentatively Finance Assist, you can tell me if you think there's a better name if you find value in it. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
Okay.
All right, can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect. So, like I said, we are going to be talking about Finance Assist, and this is a financial assistance tool specifically designed for the young adults that are in our young adult program. And I'm sure, as you know, we classify young adults, according to the American Cancer Society, as 15 to 39-year-olds with a cancer diagnosis. And I'm sure you remember from when you were going through treatment that you faced unique challenges that you really probably didn't see, one, a lot of your peers or a lot of other cancer patients going through. And one of the unique barriers that we've identified is financial toxicity. And that really refers to the negative impact a cancer diagnosis can have on patients in general, anywhere from your psychosocial distresses to worrying about figuring if you can pay your bills. So, due to your age, many AYAs, as you remember, are in transitional periods of their life where they're just kind of getting out into the real world. You've maybe finished college or you're in the middle of school and you're not as financially stable as your older counterparts. And financial toxicity can really develop at time of diagnosis and remain through treatment and into your survivorship. So we've identified that young adults needing financial assistance are not getting the financial help that they need to successfully navigate their care. So we wondered how might we better use technology to ensure that all adolescent and young adult patients have easy access to financial resources. So we came up with Finance Assist, and it's an interactive application process that makes applying for financial assistance easier with the push of a button. So, Finance Assist really will work together and in conjunction with the Mayo Clinic online portal. So, similar to logging on, you would see you can pay your bills, you can look at test results, and you can open Finance Assist. So, the patient navigator will maintain the repository of resources, things like organizations that will pay your bills or offer gas cards or pay for fertility preservation or storage fees for eggs and sperm retrieval. They also will look at any experiences that they may offer to cancer patients to go on trips or to gift things to them. And then we will also use the electronic record to gather information like your diagnosis, your treatment plan, what your staging is, and then various demographic information. We'll use that combined with personal records that you, the patient, would share, like your address, your living situation. Are you single, married? Do you have children? What type of copays are you looking at? What kind of bills do you have? What other financial assistance you may need in general. So I created just an easy storyboard for you to kind of look at start to finish. So the patient is diagnosed with cancer and introduced to Finance Assist through the young adult program. The patient would then upload their personal records to Finance Assist via the portal or via their smartphone or on the computer. Then Finance Assist would take over and compile information combining from your EMR and your PHR to determine what resources fit the criteria. Once that's been determined, Finance Assist would create one comprehensive application for the patient to fill out, and based on the answers and the criteria given by the patient, will produce a list of resources to send to the patient. In addition to sending those to the patient, they also will send those to the patient navigators who will reach out to the patient to answer any questions that they'll need. Sometimes organizations will require you giving the use of your photos or needing a personal story, for example. So we want to go over and make sure that you're comfortable applying for everything that Finance Assist has given you. So once everything's sent over to you, then you will give the final yes or no. If you do want to apply for any of these, you'll be able to like unclick any that you don't want to apply for. And then Finance Assist, once you've done that, will not only reapply for any reoccurring financial assistance, it'll keep you aware of what is and isn't awarded to you. So after all that, these are some of the questions that I thought that we could go over. Do you think something like this is something that you would have appreciated when you were going through treatment?
Sorry, I was muted. I
That's
think
okay.
definitely with going through cancer, when you first hear the diagnosis, the last thing you're thinking about is how to apply for financial things, but it definitely starts to weigh on you. I think once you get into treatment, that's when it really starts to weigh on you, because then that's the time you might be missing work or needing that assistance. So yeah, to be able to just have this as like a one-click thing on the portal would be huge.
And if you can recall back to when you were kind of in the thick of it, was financial assistance even something that was important to you? Was it something that was at the top of your mind, or kind of just always like lingering in the background?
I think once you get used to the idea that you've been diagnosed with something like this, that's when you start thinking about the external things like finances. When you get diagnosed, the only thing you're thinking about is, how can I make sure I'm not going to die, honestly. So once you get into the treatment and the care plan, I think that's when the financial stuff starts to come into play. But I think until then, you're not necessarily focused on the finances. So to be able to have something like this would reduce the trouble to go through to sort of make that connection with the navigator and have them do all the work. You'd be able to have this right away. So
Thank you. Um, do you think that you would find value in filling out one comprehensive application at once and having Finance Assist kind of plug in where all of the applications that it would find, so that you're not having to fill out repetitive information? Because I'm sure you remember from any applications you filled out, a lot of times they're asking the same thing over and over. And so when we were designing this, we thought if we could just have you fill out one application and then the system would plug it in, that that would kind of save you time and from feeling overwhelmed.
yeah, I mean, clearly, to not have to do it multiple times. I think my biggest concern, I guess, with doing that is that making sure the navigator or whoever's approving this is looking the information over to make sure it does apply to everything and that nothing's missed. Because, like again, if you're the patient, you don't know how to get all of these things in. So as long as someone's looking that over and it's not just left to the AI or to the computer program, but someone's actually proofreading it or whatever, then yeah, I'd be okay with that.
How do you feel about the name? Do you think that there's an area of improvement for the name? Do you, or are you fine with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it, but I think maybe you could somehow mention that it is specifically for AYA and it's not just Finance Assist, even if we're just AYA Finance and Assist, something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I honestly wouldn't care what it's called if it was doing its job correctly.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any other feedback that you'd like to provide about what you've seen so far? Is it something that you would maybe like to learn more about, or you would have liked
I
to learn more about?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if there's any other feedback. I think it's definitely a good idea because it's going to reduce the stress on the patient when they obviously are worried about more important things with money. Unfortunately, in this country, medical bills can bankrupt you. So if that's something that's the case, then yes, absolutely to have as much. Because I think too, even navigators sometimes, if they're newer or less experienced, might not even know some of the stuff
Mhm.
that you can apply for. So if this is connected into all those resources that all the navigators have contributed to, your chances of it hitting on more financial assistance will be better. So I think it's kind of like I still want someone to be looking it over before it's sent in to see that something was missed. But at the same time, I'd feel better knowing I have the resources of all of the navigators and not just the one that was assigned to me.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point. Let me stop my sharing. Well, Ian, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me and give me such valuable feedback about this. We are really hoping that within the next year we can roll this out to make it not only easier for the patient, but also to have the patient navigators be able to reach more patients than we are reaching.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Perfect. Well, Ian, it was great to see you again, and I hope that you continue on in your survivorship, and I hope we don't see you back at Mayo Clinic for a long time.
All right, thank you. It's good to see you
All right.
too.
Bye.